Hello, my name is Sophia McRae, and this is my presentation for Sustainable House Day 2023. I'm going to give you an update on my Iris house from when it was first constructed in 2020 and had its first appearance in Sustainable House Day. The Iris house is on the land of the Jagged Wurrung people. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present and emerging. It always was and always will be Aboriginal land. It was never ceded. So this is how the Iris house looks today. You can see a photo of myself and my dear friend Jess in the portico. Jess shares the Iris house with me and she's responsible for the beautiful garden. So it all started back in 2018. Now, I was a graduate town planner. I was a single parent. I had no money. I was determined to have a very energy efficient house. So this is how it appeared when it was first constructed in 2020. Still some work to be done. So to achieve this plan, I studied. I had got inspiration from attending Sustainable House Day since 2009, and I learned so much from Renew and their magazines. I got the back issues, I got a subscription, and I took notes and I studied them hard. I also learned a lot from the government resource, yourhome.gov.au. It's a very comprehensive resource online. It's recently been updated, so do check it out. And of course, I got so much from the interaction with My Efficient Electric Home. So that was a Facebook group started by Tim Forsey with Richard Keach and Jenny Edwards. And around 2018 to 2020, there were about 6,000 people online, and I learned so much. Everyone was very generous and knowledgeable. These days, I've joined the admin team and we've got about 80,000 members and growing. So do sign up to My Efficient Electric Home. Now, my design in 2020 included orienting my house to the north, even though that meant it was offset from the street, but that has made a huge difference and it didn't cost me anything. I made sure that there were thermally broken aluminium frames for the glazing and was very careful about the window sizing and placement. And there's no slab. It was built light, tight, and insulated right. I was very careful with the accounting for the construction and dwelling setup costs, so they're all there. You can look at them later. And it didn't cost me much more to get it up to 7.7 stars. Probably the biggest cost was actually ensuring that the double glazing had thermally broken frames. It's all electric, of course. There's my induction stove. Love it. So good to cook on. There's a detail of the honeycomb blind. So that's not part of the construction, but it is a part of the design and functioning of the house. They look great. The cellular construction of the blinds traps the air and makes a big difference to the comfort of the house. You can get them for sliding doors as well. So the big feature of my house was the thermal mass that I added after the construction. So I learned from yourhome.gov.au that water has twice the bang for buck of thermal mass in concrete. So that meant it was going to be a very affordable way for me to have thermal mass in my house. And it looks pretty good too. We really noticed a difference as soon as it was installed. About 6 weeks after the house was constructed, it was still winter time, and we could immediately feel how all that winter sunshine got soaked up by the liquid and released slowly through the night. It was beautiful. So the house still needed a solar system and of course needs a north-facing deck with a pergola and grapevines growing up it. It was still performing pretty well without a solar system. Myself and my son were living there home all day because of the pandemic, and we were only pulling about, less than 12 kilowatt hours a day from the grid. Very comfortable, hardly needed to use the active heating, which was a reverse cycle air conditioner. Most of the time, we were in shorts and bare feet. Now, part of the performance of the house was due to being very well insulated and very well sealed so that there were no leaks and no gaps. And we were able to prove that with a blower door test. So do look into that. Highly recommended. So by autumn 23, the house is performing very well. With a 10 kilowatt solar system, we only need to use about up to 5 kilowatt a day in winter time and only pulling about 2 kilowatt a day from the grid in summer. The rest is covered and provided by the solar. So that means with the feed-in tariff, we're actually zero bills for the Iris house, and it covers some of the electricity bill that I have to pay for the flat that I'm renting in Melbourne for work. So we're definitely ahead. There's the panels going on and there's the statistics. I made sure that the timer of my heat pump hot water service was set so that it only heats during the day, which means it is like my own battery. It stores free electricity during the day, and then in the night time, that free electricity that's been stored turns into free hot water. Now I've got solar panels on my south-facing roof, facing the street, as well as the north. The north is fully covered, and it was really a pretty low marginal extra cost to put it on the south. As you can see, there's still plenty of solar generation on both sides of the roof. Part of my future plans was the landscaping, which is an important part of sustainability. So not just for the additional cooling and evaporation that you get from landscaping, but also to support biodiversity and eat. The deck and pergola went on in summer 2021, and we've got the grapevines growing up, and you can see Jess there working in the garden. The front's looking nice. We've got the garage on, which is full of gardening gear. And we get to eat from our garden. So that's the update for the Iris house. So I want to keep on designing and building houses like this because it's really important that single income households and single parents and single people can have the opportunity to have an affordable, really energy efficient and thermally comfortable house. There's a lot of resources out there, so get onto it. On that note, I want to say thank you to Renew for everything that they do and for putting on Sustainable House Day. So I will be back in the future with an update for you all. In the meantime, get inspired and stay inspired.